According to international law, natural gas plots on the shelf of the Black Sea of Crimea belong to Ukraine. However, the Russian government has already approved a bill for their sale to profit off these assets stolen by Russia after the occupation. These subsoil plots consist of 15 gas fields with total reserves of about 60 billion cubic meters. Additionally, there are 2 oil fields with an output of 2.5 million tons.
Since the occupation of Crimea in 2014, Ukraine has been losing and producing about 2 billion cubic meters of gas on the peninsula. On that land, there was a main prospect of mining. 70% of all the energy reserves of Crimea are on its sea shelf. I think this is one of the reasons why Russia annexed the peninsula, because these deposits were promising Ukraine's energy independence.
Now, Russia is planning on selling hydrocarbon deposits in the shelves of the Black Sea and Azov Seas. For this purpose, the government has drafted a bill. The document will be considered in the State Duma. Lawyers say that by doing this, Russia is yet again violating international law.
To be quite accurate, according to the international maritime law, Ukraine retains the rights on the continental shelf in accordance with the norms, borders, and the kilometers established by the international law.
The Kremlin intends to give Russian companies an advantage by selling Ukrainian wealth.
It is hard to believe that international companies will agree to participate in this competition. We are talking about the companies from the top 100. This inevitably would lead to the imposition of sanctions. There are a number of so-called backing companies that are willing to spend another $1 billion, and it is desirable that this billion comes from the federal budget of Russia.
The recommendation for Ukraine would be to defend its property in international courts, says lawyer Andriy Buzarov.
We can use the European Court of Human Rights, but only in terms of civil rights. If we are talking about property claims, then we need to use the opportunities granted by the UN, meaning the International Court of Justice. But we need time if we want to follow this procedure.
In September 2017, Ukraine's oil and gas company Naftogaz filed a lawsuit against Russia in the Hague International Tribunal, demanding compensation for losses related to the seizure of assets in Crimea. The damage is estimated at $5 billion. The tribunal intends to make a decision by the end of this year.